Good morning. And what a morning it's been. I'm running late, obviously, or I'm adjusting the time that I'm getting started. This has been an interesting endeavor with Facebook Live this morning, and so we're just going with it, which is funny because the topic for this morning is perfect for this on a certain level. This is so awesome. Okay, so hello. Happy Hump Day. I'm Valerie Shepard. This is the Hump Day Happy Chat coming to you live, as you can tell. Hump Day Happy Chat live from the Hartley Center for Mindfulness and Self-Mastery. I'm not in my typical environment, so you're getting a peek at a very different environment. And today's topic is so perfect for the dynamics of this morning and the dynamics of what we're living through right now. So, as you can tell, good morning, I'm on my phone. I'm behind the times on making sure that I know how to do the streaming keys and the blah, blah, blah. Anyone who wants to help me, give me a call. And so I'm just going on my phone today. We'll figure it out for next week's segment of the Hump Day Happy Chat. So I'm, again, Valerie Shepard, coming to you from the Hartley Center for Mindfulness and Self-Mastery, where we focus on how to master you in your life so that you can exquisitely manage whatever your life brings your way. And these weekly connection times are an opportunity for me to just share, check in, give you some tips and tools and tricks that can help you have more happiness, fulfillment, and success, no matter what your life is bringing your way, right? So that we can get into the space of it being about a real, no matter what existence, a real, I can do anything. I can do anything. Okay, so today's episode is called, As Long as You Live, Keep Learning How to Live. As long as you live, keep learning how to live. Good morning. Thank you for joining me. So this is one of my favorite quotes. If you get emails from me, you will notice that it is on my email signature. It's by a gentleman by the name of Lucius Annaeus Seneca. He is a Roman statesman. He lived 5 BC to 65 AD. Like, that is a long time ago. He was born in southern Spain, was raised in the Roman Empire, educated at the highest levels. He is a Stoic philosopher. We'll talk about Stoicism in a second. He became, which is interesting in the face of Stoicism, which is about non-material wealth in the world and knowing a virtue that is about knowledge and living in harmony with nature, things like that. So Stoicism, which Stoicism appeals to me on so many different levels, like that kind of a virtuous life. He also became, under his service to Emperor Nero, one of the wealthiest men in Rome in his day, one of the wealthiest men. Amazing when I think about this quote. You've probably heard other quotes that have been attributed to Seneca. Luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. I've heard that a lot in my lifetime. That is attributed to Seneca, as well as some others. Every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end. There are more things that frighten us than injure us, and we suffer more in imagination than in reality. Ha ha ha. Fear. False evidence appearing real. It's not necessarily truly what's happening in the moment. I also like Marcus Aurelius, who was at one point a really powerful person in Rome as well, an emperor, and also a Stoic. And there are a lot of quotes that come from this time, and what I like about them is they've stood the test of time. Like, they still provide an opportunity for us to learn and grow by putting that nugget of wisdom into our little toolkit called us. Like, right? Us, I'm the toolkit. Put it into the toolkit and go experience life that way. As long as you live, keep learning how to live. So one form of living this quote is on the surface, like changing with what changes around you. And we've been doing a lot of that right now, right? In the midst of a pandemic, there's a lot of adaptation happening. A lot of people are angrily hanging on to what they had. I mean, there are a lot of people who are like, no, I won't go. So their form of adaptation is to try and force the world to fit into their experience of what is good, bad, right, wrong, right? So they can feel more comfortable, more safe. It's my interpretation. That's a potential truth, that when we rail against what is, lack of acceptance, when we rail against what is in order to have something we think is better. Good morning, I see you out there. Thank you for joining me. To have something we think is better, which often is just something that feels more comfortable. Comfortable. Creatures of comfort, creatures of habit. What something we think is going to be better, but really it's just more comfortable. So when I'm comfortable, I believe I've got what's better. And what I think we're learning over and over and over, that there's some big beauty in discomfort, that there's magic in this space of, oh my gosh, this really feels uncomfortable. And like, why do I have to do it this way? And oh my gosh, there's a contraction that starts, right? You can feel yourself closing in on yourself. And then what often happens is when we stick with that feeling and actually go further into it, as I talk to my students, go closer, go deeper, go further into the experience, we actually can feel ourselves opening back up. So keep learning how to live is about an adapting response that goes on with what's going on around us. So that can be on the surface. And there's a deeper level. And you know me, I'm always going to go deep. For me, living life on the surface is only so good. It can only get me so far. I've done it for so long. You know, when I wrote my book, it was because the surface aspects of my life were really great and not fulfilling. They were really successful and not life-giving in the long term. I literally kept asking myself, is this really supposed to be my life? Is this my life? It wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. And so as I go deeper into me, the juicy, delicious parts under the surface of me, as I go deeper and go higher in my consciousness, deeper into you, higher into your consciousness, go deeper into you and go higher into your consciousness. Happiness is there all the time. I said that in my book. The only way that I know that you deliver yourself into true, authentic, lasting happiness, happiness that is not conditional, unconditional happiness, is you raise your consciousness. So this question, this statement, as long as you live, keep learning how to live. The deeper level of this quote goes into the 3 pillars of self-mastery. Self-awareness, self-acceptance, and self-love. Those are the pillars that deliver you to this place of mastering the self, where you can take yourself into any situation and have superiority over the dynamics of that situation within you. Maybe not out there, but within you, and how those things disrupt you or don't. How they trigger you or don't. How they make you afraid, cower you, or don't. Who you are at a deeper level includes exploring the energies underneath your surface actions, your surface desires, your surface blah, blah, blah. It means that, hi Audrey, I see you. Thank you for coming. It means that your surface stuff, It involves consciously delving into what influence your habitual patterns of thought. Habitual patterns of thought become belief. Beliefs turn into habitual actions, or they drive habitual actions. And then that's your pattern of life. Habits and practices become your pattern of life. And then you're also looking at the why. Why is that my pattern? Why am I doing that? Why is that what I think is what is supposed to be important to me? At the highest and deepest levels, keep learning how to live is not about trying to manage the surface. It's not about trying to decide which mask you wear. Keep learning how to live is not about the surface stuff and everything going on out there and trying to have them be more like what you want or what you like or what you can live with, what you can stand, what you understand. It's not about all that. Certainly there is activity that involves creating in that space of out there, what it is that works best for us. But at the highest and deepest levels, keep learning how to live is about evolving what's inside and how that holds the greatest promise in its evolution for a revolutionary experience of our life, a revolutionary existence, a revolutionized way of being you, and therefore of experiencing your life. And let me tell you, some of your lives need a revolution. Some of your lives need a revolution. Revolution inside. So I'll tell you my own unfolding experience right now. Right now, my unfolding experience of as long as you live, keep learning how to live. Whew, it's been deep, it's been rich, it's been tough. Exploring triggers and befriending self-harming beliefs having to do with this magnificence, this caramel color. I don't know what color that is, caramel maybe, the caramel color of my skin. Exploring the triggers and befriending the self-harming beliefs about me, inside me. As long as I live, I'm keeping learning how to live. That's not grammatically correct, but you get it. It's been rich and full and trying and debilitating and tiring. I haven't been this tired for so long and so long. It's been ugly, and it's brought up a lot of sorrow and sadness, and it's been glorious and sweet. I'm cherishing this evolution of this deeper me, The skin is just an outer aspect of it, and there's deeper relationship to this outer essence, this outer container. There's a part of me, and this is no pun intended, that has been shackled in these ideas of myself that are rolling around in there. And no matter what kind of great stuff I create outside, what kind of titles, what credentials, what healing in my body, what kind of food I eat or stuff I drink, in my book, I talk about them as those elixirs of feel-good. Elixirs of feel-good, the stuff I can put on or put in that kind of numb me to a deeper understanding, a deeper self-awareness, a deeper self-acceptance. Like to be able to accept yourself exactly where you are with whatever's going on is really a gift. And it's only a gift that can come from you to you. Self-acceptance. That is the non-judgmental. And the self-love, to look at my body that I know can put me in danger for nothing else than just the way it looks. And that there are plenty of people who don't accept this body the way it is. And to not be one of them, like how glorious it is as I'm going through this, keep learning how to live that is for me. As long as you live, keep learning how to live. And it's going to be different for every one of us. I have no idea what your keep learning how to live is. What is that for you? That's your job. That can be your calling. This is my calling now. This is my forever gift. Thank you, angels. Thank you, ancestors. Thank you, divine soul being as me. I'm so grateful to have heard the call and to have said, yes, I'll answer. I particularly work with a spiritual counselor with whom I meet for a few hours every week. It's the biggest line item in my budget, is my commitment to the evolution of my consciousness. And to be a spiritual teacher, to have clients and spiritual counseling, to write my next book, underway, to write the next book, to take my course online, to do any of the things that I'm doing that are in this space of, I can help you heal your life. I can help you dance. Dance as the exquisite nature that you are. My commitment to being, not to be worthy of doing that, but to be at the highest levels, an instrument of that for others, to help others, like to be a wand, the maestro, helping them play themselves as the magnificent instrument that they are, to help them take on their maestro status. Yes, indeed. That to me is about, I have to be doing the dance myself. I have to be willing to go into the scary places. I have to be willing to say, I don't know that I want to know. I don't know that I want to know. And to go anyway. To ask the hard questions, the deep questions, the scary questions, the ugly questions, and to go anyway. And that's been my unfolding experience, triggered earlier this year at a deeper level than I've ever thought possible by everything that's going on now. And so this whole quote, the Seneca quote, as long as you live, keep learning how to live, is a reminder that every minute is giving us an opportunity to kind of say, am I done? What more is possible? What more is possible? How much more of myself can I free into a space that gives me an exquisite experience of me being me? Whatever that is. For me, it's a divine messenger of truth, love, and light. What is it for you? What is your purpose? What is your dharma? Keep learning how to live as an ongoing inquiry. And I will say this, it's fueled by curiosity. It's held in this container of compassion. And it's supported by some critical things. Patience. Like, I will get an idea of something and it may take a couple hours or a few weeks or several months working with my counselor to get really clear on what's showing up. And I just have to keep sitting in it. Patience. Gee, here's that feeling again. Here's that feeling again. Here's that feeling again. Or here's that feeling again. Like, when is this going to be gone? Like, patience. It's speaking to me in its own language, in its own time. Non-judgment. Boy, non-judgment. Why can't I lose this weight? Yes, that's a real one. Why can't I get to the finish line on this project? Why do I keep biting off more than I can chew? Yes, that's a real one. Why can't I learn to say no so that I have more time for rest? Yes, that's a real one. Yes, that's a real one. And detachment. Detachment from the outcome looking a certain way. Detachment from it meaning I'm going to be able to keep my life the way it is. Well, if I do this work, that means I get to keep my sweetheart and I get to keep this and I get to keep my title and like really being willing for it all to just shift as you shift. Notice when we are willing to shift the instrument that we are, the music changes. The rest of the members of the orchestra could potentially change. We may organize in a very different way. It all can change. So what are the steps? I'll say that one more time. Keep learning how to live is an ongoing inquiry fueled by curiosity, done in a container of compassion, and supported by patience, non-judgment, and detachment. So what are the steps? A couple of steps here. I like steps. Break things down into do this and this and this and this. And they're not necessarily sequential. They're happening in a together, both and always moving space. So here are the steps. Here's the flavor, right? Number one, you have to notice you. Remember, I said it's an inquiry. So an inquiry means I'm kind of, I have to be in this curiosity of, oh, wow, why did I say that? Why do I think that? Why did that come up as the way to handle this situation? And why didn't other things? How come other people can do it this way and I seem to always do it that way? So notice you being you. One of the most powerful questions I can give you in that inquiry is, who am I being when I think I'm being me? Who am I really being when I think I'm being me? Where did that me that I'm being, where did that really come from? Then getting curious about that. Where did that come from? Notice you being you and get curious about those pieces of you, those elements of you, those aspects of you, those ways of being you. And then lovingly explore your results, not your doing nature, not I'm always trying to lose weight, I work out really hard. It's not that. It's the results. When I look at, there's some way that I continue to let myself down, not crossing the finish line, it's the results. I do a lot of the doingness. What's going on with my results? So as I lovingly explore my results, right? Patience, non-judgment, and detachment, I look at them and I ask, is this serving me? The way that I'm being me, that I'm noticing and getting curious about, is it serving me? Apparently not. Is it enough? Is it giving me enough toward my path, on my pathway toward my highest potential? Let me say that again. Is the way I'm being, are the results that I'm getting demonstrating that the way I'm being has me on the pathway to my highest potential? Or am I on a different pathway? Am I on a different pathway? Then it's about releasing whatever you're doing that doesn't serve you. Releasing what doesn't serve you. And some of those things will be in the deep underbelly. Some of those things you gotta go deep. And when you get there and you go, this is what it is, and you lovingly make peace with it and heal it and release it, wow, spiral up. You release what doesn't serve you. You decide, what's my new way of doing me in my life that serves me in my life, to live my life to the fullest, also known as living happy to be me, dancing your soul light style. And then you live the plan. What does that mean? That means keep on keeping on and keep on learning how to live. As long as you live, keep learning how to live. For me, that involves a spiritual counselor, That involves very dear friendships who are also in the space that can support me and give me their candid input and feedback and support and service. That means making me the most important thing in the way I live my life, making choices that are based on this deep aspect of me and on continuing the evolution of my experience and the revolutionizing of the who-ness of me. As long as you live, keep learning how to live. That's it. Thank you. Especially thank you for joining when I was so past my regular time. Technology was thwarting me this morning, and it was great to come at a new time and have you be here and have you hang out with me. I see you there. I appreciate you being here. I want to close with the metta prayer. This is the Karanaya Metta Sutra. It's the prayer of loving kindness from the Buddha. May all beings be peaceful. May all beings be safe. May all beings be happy. May all beings awaken to the light of their true nature by keep on learning to live. And may all beings be free. Yes. Ooh, I feel that wave. Wow, that was a nice big wave. Yay. Nice expansion. Free. And we're not talking about political freedom here. We're talking about emotional and spiritual freedom. The freedom from your emotional baggage, your emotional wounds, the part of you and the you-ness of you that is not serving you, and you know it. Like, may you be free from the things that are keeping you down, holding you back from that which is your highest potential. Stay well, be happy. Valerie Shepard signing off from the Hartley Center for Mindfulness and Self-Mastery. See you next week. Hump Day Happy Chat out.